Hi everyone, this is Ruth Castillo. I'm your friendly neighborhood full spectrum doula and childbirth educator, parent educator. And so today, what I'd like to do is spend a few moments and talk about the gate control theory of pain um, and using that gate control theory to your advantage. So I don't want to get too sciencey, but I want to explain the full theory to you guys for a moment. So gate control theory is a model that helps explain the perception of pain, and it was developed in the 1960s, or it really started to coalesce in the 1960s. This model actually still has a large impact on the body of knowledge in neurological research today. Okay, the basic concept is that uh, all nerve activity is going to, so every single signal that our body takes in excites transmission cells in our spinal cord. So everything that you touch, feel, that's going to excite those transmission cells in your spinal cord. Those transmission cells act as final messengers from your spinal cord into the big boss, your brain. And those transmission cells are regulated by inhibitory interneurons in the base of your spinal cord. So these kind of are keeping your transmission cells in check. They're like, do you want to send them? All right, is this what we want to do? What signal are we going to send first? Different types of nerves are going to act on those inhibitory interneurons differently. Okay, so some nerves we know transmit pain signals, acute and chronic, so short-term pain or long-term pain, and these are relatively thinner nerve cells. In the language of nerve cells, they're smaller. Okay, they'd like to get the inhibitory interneuron cells to let their guards down. So imagine that they're bribing their way through these thin channels that they have available to them to get to the transmission cells. Okay, they don't have a lot of room. They have to work really hard to do it. It's a big investment of time, and they definitely will get there if they want to. Other nerve cells tell us about the perception of things like pressure, heat, cold, vibration, so forth. Those nerves that don't carry pain signals are thicker. They have a wider highway to travel. And the activation of these nerves will get the inhibitory interneurons to act as the bodyguards, um, as the devil's advocates that they are. They're going to say, like, whoa, no, you can't come back here to the pain cells. They're going to get the interneurons, these inhibitory interneurons, to do their job. Okay, so the simple explanation, this simple explanation, kind of is going to have a big impact on how you perceive pain and how you can kind of twist that. You can change where it's coming from. You can change how you perceive it. You're not gonna not experience pain in labor. That does suck. But you can shift that perception a little bit of what you're experiencing, and you can hopefully avoid a lot of that pain and panic from the pain. Okay, so the goal is to get our body to perceive other things first. Okay, you want to send things down. You want to have a nice plan for traveling down those nerve highways. Send all the good things, the pressure, like massage, heat, so like heating pad, I want like a hot pad, heating pad, a heat pad, or maybe a hot shower. Touch in the form of like a wonderful massage, or a cool piece of ice, and a different layer of clothing. Everything we can do to have a different sensation, something new and novel, to um, exclude our perception of pain, to get those inhibitory interneurons to say, no pain, you're not allowed back here. You're not going to be part of my labor. So to that end, I have two tools for you guys today, using some very common objects that you may already have at home, or that you can quickly pick up at any regular discount retailer. So I went to my local Family Dollar, or at the 99-cent store, which is always kind of a scary trip. You're like, I know I can go get candy there, or I can go get this one thing, and you walk out spending $50. So it was a bad idea. but I wanted to show you guys some things that you can quickly do. So my first, kind of odd, I picked up some tennis balls. These were $1.99, $2.99, and they weren't much. They were under $5 for 3 tennis balls. And certainly you can use any racket balls or tennis balls you already have at home. You probably don't want the ones that your dog has slobbered all over. But you don't need anything fancy. You don't need professional level tennis balls. You just want something firm with a little bit of give. So I'm going to take these out of their container. Okay, and so the whole point of using a tennis ball is that it is squishy. You don't need a really firm Serena Williams level professional ball. You just need something that's going to have some give. So you can also use the ones that they sell specifically for pets to chew on, because those generally have a little bit more give. You can buy fancy colored ones if you want. Okay, so these are pretty inexpensive. The other thing I have here is a clean tube sock. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tube sock. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put this back over here. I'm going to put this tube sock over my tennis ball canister. Maybe not all the way over. And voila. Okay. I now have 3 tennis balls and a tube sock. What do I do with this? What I can do with this is I'm going to tie a quick knot in it. And by using a tube sock, of course, I have, it's pretty easy to knot it here. If I'm using a fancy sock, often what I'll do is I'll turn the sock inside out, and then I have so much room left over here is I still can turn the sock inside out. This is more that terry cloth side when we're using a plain tube sock. I can turn that sock inside out and then put the tennis balls in, knot it, and then I pull the rest of the material over it. So I have this lump. And what this is, it creates a massage tool, a really lovely massage tool. And you can go lean up against a wall and roll up and down and really get some of those pressure points. And I like making these for labor. I'm making two balls, taking 3 tennis balls, putting 2 balls in a tennis in a tube sock, and keeping the 3rd tennis ball free so that we can use it to roll over the laboring person's body in triggering specific points for them, because everyone has a different spot when they're in labor that they really enjoy some massage on. So it took me less than a minute to make this little tube sock massage tool. Okay. The other one includes a pound of rice. So we buy our rice in bulk. So I measured out about a pound, and I really did grab my scale. I have a funnel here, and I have my handy dandy tube sock. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one in my tennis ball container just for safekeeping. And I'm going to put my funnel, and then I'm going to pour my rice in, trying to take care to not lose too much, which I've already lost a little bit. Okay. That's going much too slow for me, so I'm going to plug that. And just going to take a little bit of time. Obviously, if you're buying rice for this purpose, you can just cut a hole in the bag as you're ready to use it and pour it in. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill this sock all the way full with rice. And then just like with the tube sock, you're going to tie a knot in it. You don't have to have any sewing skills. This is what's great about making this type of heat sock. And then you're going to put this sock in the microwave with the rice in it for probably about 2 minutes on high, depending on your microwave. Now, I do suggest the first time you do this, start with about 1.5 minutes on high, and then you can add 15 to 30 second increments at a time, just to kind of get a feeling for how your sock, how your microwave will heat this. You can use a little bit more if you like a firmer massage or you like a firmer pressure. So the heavier you make it, of course, the more heat it's going to hold, the longer it's going to hold that heat. And it's going to give a little bit more pressure. So that's going to be 2 sensations, 2 pleasurable sensations, 2 sensations that your body would rather feel at one time versus doing this solo. So I have all my rice. This is, again, about a pound of rice. And I just happen to be using this tube from my tennis balls. Okay. Put pretty firmly in there. And again, this is about a pound of rice. This is an extra large men's tube sock that's been washed but never worn. I'm going to give it a little bit of space. And I can probably put, if I really wanted to, about 3 pounds of rice in here. I'm very careful, given the amount of give that these have. But what I'll do is I'll put this in the microwave and start for about 1.5 minutes. And I'm able to put that here, or on the back, or on a spot on the leg or the ankle. So this is great. I'm not just for labor, but anytime you're feeling a little bit of pain, you want to bring some heat, gentle heat to that area. This is going to be a nice dull heat. I will caution you, don't use like a nylon sock. Don't use your fancy socks. Use something that you don't mind getting dirty, nasty over time. You're not going to be able to reuse this sock. It will get kind of grody after a while. You also do not want to wash this with the rice in there. Once your rice gets moist, you are looking at growing things. I like to use a cotton blend. I don't like to use acrylic because I'm always a little bit afraid of like nylon burning in my microwave or causing any holes. So I don't want to do that. And of course, with any time you're applying heat, take time away from the heat and be careful. Always make sure that that person has perception of pain in that area. If someone's legs are numb, like from an epidural, you don't want to use a lot of heat on their feet because they can't feel their feet and they may not be able to tell you before they feel burned. So you want to be very cautious with instances like that. But these were two quick tools that you can make yourself. They take a few minutes. They take less than $5 each. Really less than $5 together to do these. And they're one way to utilize that pain coping gate control theory. Okay, so don't be afraid to find ways to introduce other sensations while you're in labor or any other time that you're feeling pain. Thank you.